All right. I think everybody is here, so we will get started. We are going to need blocks, strap, and blanket for practice. And we are going to do our Ganesha practice today. I'll show you my Ganesha. Joan's already seen my Ganesha. I have a couple of Ganeshas. I love him. So this is one that I got for the studio. So now he's at my home studio because we're no longer there. But so he's the elephant god, and he's got a nice big belly. He likes to eat lots of sweets, and he always has a bunch of different weapons in his hands. He's got like 4 hands, and one of them's always in the no fear, right? So he represents kind of overcoming fear in our lives. He represents overcoming obstacles. And it is said that in these yoga mythologies that we represent the characters in the stories. So he represents a part of our psyche, a part of our, it's like an archetype. So he can put obstacles in our way to redirect us in life, right? Say we're going down the wrong path and all of a sudden Ganesha comes along, gets in our way. So then he can also remove that obstacle as well. So kind of talking about it through the lens of fear, because I've been doing this trauma module with my teacher. And he talked a lot about Ganesha in relationship to fear and how he represents kind of stability and being grounded. He also represents wisdom. So when it comes to fear, we have to use our wisdom to decide, is this fear valid? Is it something we need to pay attention to? Because that helps us survive, basically. However, on the flip side of that, fear can also really hold us back in life, right? So if we have too much fear, we're not going to start that new thing. We're not going to leave a difficult situation. We're not going to start something new. So, which is why in the Hindu tradition, when there's something new beginning, a new beginning, Ganesha is often invoked to bless this new beginning. So we'll kind of invite fresh energy into our bodies as we do our practice today. We're going to specifically focus on the hip flexors. This is an area of the body that is associated with fear. When there's a lot of fear, that area of the body kind of tends to tighten up and clench, and also, it's part of lifestyle of sitting that area gets a little congested. So we're going to bring some fresh energy with Ganesh into that aspect of the body. So we're going to start in child's pose, so a little different than our Friday class rather. So you can just go ahead and make your way there. I'm going to mute everybody in a moment. So if you want to start music, you're welcome to. So take a couple of moments to be in your child's pose. I'd like you to bring some nice breath into your belly. We'll call it the Ganesha belly today. Let your belly be soft. And you might even widen your knees a little bit to make space for your belly. And also send that breath into your back body. I'm going to take about 5 more cycles of breath here. Setting everything soften, surrender, release into the ground. And take just 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to walk it over to the right and come into a side bend. So just keep walking your arms over to the right and then slide your right palm back. It could either go back by your hip, or sometimes I like to just put it under my head and then really reach through that left arm and pull your left sit bone back away from your arm. And we'll breathe into that side of the body. So in addition to hip flexors, we'll be making some kind of crescent shapes with the body. There's a story of Ganesha relating to the moon, which is a crescent shape. So in the story, Ganesha has gone to a big celebration, a big party, and he indulges in too many sweets, and his belly just gets really full, ready to burst. And as he leaves the party, his belly splits open and all those sweets spill upon the ground. So Ganesha has to scramble to try to pick it all up before anybody sees it. And he finds a snake and he ties his belly shut with the snake. And he thinks no one has seen him. So go ahead, come back to the center. And then walk yourself over to the other side. And really reach through that right arm. Left hand can be under your head or back by your hip. We'll stay there for a few more moments. So as the story goes, the moon was actually watching this whole scene and thought this was pretty funny. So the moon is laughing at Ganesha, and Ganesha's not really happy about that. So being the powerful deity that he is, he puts a curse on the moon to be forever in darkness. But the other people of the world, not so happy about that, because the moon is also very much loved by the people. And so they beg Ganesha to change his mind. And instead of completely giving in, he throws his tusk up at the moon, creates a crescent shape, and allows the moon to have her phases rather than to be in complete darkness. So that's one of the Ganesha stories about how the moon got her phases. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and come up into tabletop pose, all fours. And we'll start with a few rounds of cat-cow. So take an inhale, exhale, rounding your spine. And then as you inhale, think about moving your tailbone away from your head, lengthening through the chest, and exhale, round. So we'll do about 3 more cycles. And as you inhale, we'll start to think about stretching out the front of the abdomen and the belly. We're going to open up the space of our Ganesha belly today. 1 more cycle. And as we talked about with our gut class, that's one of the areas where we hold a lot of our emotion, a lot of our fear. Coming into a neutral spine, take the right leg straight back behind you and lift it off the ground. And make sure hands are underneath your shoulders. We're going to take an inhale, reach long through that leg. And as you exhale, round into cat pose, bring your knee into your nose and squeeze. And inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring it in and squeeze. Now, as you inhale, take it back. Try to lift the leg higher up. So you start to get a little stretch in the hip and the belly. Exhale, round. And again, lift it up. This time, hold it. Bend your knee, lift that knee nice and high. And then reach back with your opposite arm and see if you can catch the foot. I'm going to get that big toe side of the foot. And then roll your left shoulder back. Lift your thigh nice and high. Lift your chest nice and high. And then see if you can spiral the supporting arm open a little bit, keeping your chest lifted. Good. From here, straighten the leg, release the left hand down to the ground, keep the leg up, and then swing the left shin a little bit to the side on an angle and come into arm balance. Bring your right hand onto your right hip, and we open up into kind of a half moon shape here. See if you can lift that leg nice and high. Keep it active, keep it flexed. And now we're gonna bend the knee and bring that thigh back behind you. Roll your chest open and reach back, catch the foot. Spiral your bottom arm open so the shoulder head is back. Both shoulders draw towards each other on your back and then really open up into a little back bend, like your head is gonna touch your foot. Breathe into the front of the belly. Good. From here, release arm and leg back up. Keep the leg up. Bring your hand down and square off your hips. Tuck your left toes under and then a big push to lift up to a down dog split. Inhale here. As you exhale, knee to nose, round your spine. 2 more like this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to nose. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step all the way through. Drop onto your back knee. Come onto your front leg. So hands on that front thigh. Chest is lifted. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the front of the belly, lengthen the tail until you feel that back hip flexor start to open up. Next inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, slide into your front knee, coming into more of a crescent shape. Lift your arms, lift your ribs, stretch it back. Holding here, rooting down into your legs to help you open up a little more. And then slowly release. Step it back, downward facing dog. Knees to the ground. 5 cycles of cat-cow. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Again, as you inhale, think about the space and stretch in the front of the abdomen. And after your 5th cycle of cat-cow, go ahead and come back to neutral. So I'm just watching you guys, see where you're at. All right, so after this next one, go ahead and come into neutral. And we're gonna take that left leg straight back behind us, lift it off the ground. Take an inhale, exhale, round into cat pose, knee to nose. And each time you take that leg back, can you now lift it a little higher? Exhale, knee to nose. Keep that going. One more time. And this time, as the leg comes up, keep it there. Bend your knee, lift your thigh nice and high, and then reach back with your opposite arm, catch your foot. Supporting arm spirals open, lift your chest, lift your thigh, kick your foot back into your hand. Good, slowly release, arm and leg reach out. And then we're gonna release and swing that shin out to the side and peel open and come into that arm balance. That's it. All right, bottom arm spirals open. And then we're gonna bend that top knee, reach the thigh back, see if you can catch onto the foot. Once you've got it, starting to take the head back toward the foot, opening up the front of the body a bit more. Helpful here to squeeze those outer hips. Making a big crescent shape, one more breath. And then we're gonna release, arm and leg reach out. Make your way back to tabletop, keep the leg up, and then big press up, down dog split. 3 times, knee to nose, round your spine. And after that third round, go ahead, step it all the way through, drop onto your back knee, and bring your hands up onto your front thigh. Good. And then lift the front of the belly, lengthen the tailbone. Inhale, reach the arms up. Think about lifting your rib cage off of your lower back and then sliding deeper into that front knee if you like. Keep pulling the tailbone in and down to open that back hip flexor. Maybe reach it up and back. So not just back, but up and back. One more breath. And then release it, step it back, downward facing dog. From here, widen your feet about mat's distance. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet. Take a deep bend in your knees and fold forward. Interlace your hands behind your back. And then try to lift your shoulder heads, pull your collarbones apart, and let your head descend. One more breath here. And then let the arms slide down toward the ground, keeping that bend in your knees. Roll yourself up, use your legs, and we're gonna come all the way up to stand. Finding mountain pose, we're gonna face forward. All right, so we're gonna do some variations with Ganesha Mudra today. So Ganesha Mudra, we're gonna take our right hand and face it out, our left hand and face it in, and then we're gonna clasp the hands. Yeah, so like this. Got it? Yeah, okay. I know it's a little hard to see in here. It's not so bright today. Okay, so that's the Ganesha Mudra. It creates a lot of openness and strength in the chest. So we're gonna pull on the hands and feel that openness across the upper back, across the chest. And then soften for a moment. Inhale, pull. Exhale, soften. One more time, inhale, pull. Now, keeping the knees a little soft, so you have a nice kind of low center of gravity here. We're gonna start to reach one elbow up, one elbow down, and then reverse. And then we're gonna get some breath going. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Almost like a breath of fire. So when it'd be a nice, strong, powerful breath. Breath is one of the ways we can overcome obstacles, right? It can really change things, can remove blockages. We get that breath nice and strong. Slowly come back to start. You guys look great out there. And let's switch the hands. So now left palm out, right palm forward and pull. Chest is lifting, little bend in the knees. So you have that low center of gravity. Keep the hand position, just soften for a moment and then pull. Good, soften and pull. Good, and then let's start that breath practice. So inhale, elbow up, exhale. You just get a nice, good energy going. You can go as fast as you like or as slow as you like. Just waking up here on Saturday morning. Getting ready to overcome some obstacles. All right, go ahead, slowly, slowly come to a start. Release your arms and step it back in to mountain pose. Good, so we'll stand at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold just a couple Surya Namaskars. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step it back, plank pose, top of a push-up. You can take Cobra or Up Dog, your choice. Just find that stretch in your belly in whichever back bend you choose, and then make your way back, downward facing dog. Big inhale in your dog. Exhale, step or jump, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your legs. As you inhale, we're going to reach all the way up. And then as you exhale, hands down to the lower back. Point the fingertips down, pull the sacrum down, pull the elbows back, and take a little back bend. So pause here for a few breaths, really rooting into your legs, tailbone aims down, lift the hip points up, and keep that back bend going. Breathe now into that abdomen area. Good, and then slowly coming back up to vertical. And let's do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Your choice of vinyasa here. So if you like, you can lower halfway chaturanga, roll over your toes, up dog, and then really pull forward through your arms. So you're getting that stretch to the lower belly. And let's just take a little swing side to side. So if you're in up dog, you can swing your hips. If you're in cobra, you can sway your body. And then downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, let's try that back bend again. Hands on the lower back, pull down, open and lift the chest, elbows pull back. Think about lifting up through the chest, anchoring down through the legs. Good, slowly release. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, your choice of vinyasa, or you can also go right to downward facing dog if you like. All right, next inhale, right leg straight up behind you. Bend your knee, open your hip, turn your pelvis to the right. Keep the shoulders square. And then a couple times straighten and bend that leg. So we get a little bit more into that hip and that hip flexor. That's it. And then square off through center. Keep the leg high, take an inhale, exhale, knee to nose, come forward. Inhale, take it straight back. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. So we're gonna bend nice and deep into that front knee. Anchor into your back leg, back heel, and then find a neutral pelvis. So front of the belly lifts, tailbone lengthens. And then we inhale the arms out if they're not there. Good. Right palm faces in, left palm, right palm faces out, left palm in. Find your Ganesh mudra. Good, and so take an inhale, exhale, pull on the hands, open across the chest. Do that again, inhale. Exhale, pull with your hands. Now also pull with your feet, and we create space in the body. Keep pulling with the hands and the feet. Start to tip toward the back of your mat, towards your back leg. And then see if you can extend those arms. Really reach to the arms as you pull apart with your feet. And then back to the heart. Good, now inhale center, exhale into side angle, but keep that Ganesh mudra. Tip your pelvis and tailbone towards your back foot. Keep your chest turning open. And now try to reach through those arms. That's too much, keep hands by your heart. Good, back to the center, warrior two. Release your arms out. From here, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, come onto your back knee. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, come into that crescent lunge. Let the hips drop, reach up and back. Like you're trying to reach over a big ball behind you. Good, release hands down. We're gonna step forward. Fold over your legs. Bend your knees, come into chair pose. Inhale and chair, exhale, prayer twist to your right. Hook elbow over knee. Take a nice deep bend in your knees. Inhale up through center. Exhale, prayer twist other way. One more time each side. Inhale up, exhale, twist. One more time. Good. Inhale, reach up, a little back bend at the top with palms overhead. And then exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Vinyasa or right to downward facing dog, your choice. Listen to your body. And we'll do that sequence on the other side. When you're ready, left leg reaches high. Good. Bend your knee, open your hip. And then straighten and bend that leg a few times. Good. Squaring off through center. Inhale, and as you exhale, knee to nose, round your spine. Inhale, take it straight back. Exhale, step through, come into your warrior two. Good. Left palm out, right palm faces in, Ganesh Mudra. Take an inhale, exhale, pull with your hands, pull with your feet. Get really strong and stable. And then inhale, lengthen, exhale, tip toward the back. Keep pulling on the palms and then extend the arms, making a little crescent shape there as well. Hands back to the heart and towards side angle. Tip your pelvis toward the back leg and then try to reach through those arms. Good. Hands back to the heart. Release back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down. You're in your crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let the hips descend as you lift out of your pelvis. Open the belly. One more breath. Good. Release, hands down, step forward. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Back bend at the top. And then chair twist right into the right side. Hook elbow over knee. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. Let's do one more time on each side. Nice strong breath. Good. Inhale, come up, and exhale, release, arms down at your side. Okay, find your Ganesha Mudra, right palm out, left palm in. Pull with your hands. Standing on your left leg, come onto the ball of your right foot. Keep pulling on your hands and see if you can lift that knee up to about hip height and find your balance. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, start to lean forward toward warrior three. We're going to keep that top leg bent for a moment. Pull with your hands, lower your chin and lengthen the crown of your head, and then slowly start to straighten that leg if you can. Keep the big toe mound planted into the ground. One more breath. Slowly step it back, warrior one. So release that back leg down, reach the arms up, and pause here. We're going to bend a little deeper into that front knee as you send your back thigh back, getting strongly rooted into your back heel. So we're trying to open up that hip flexor in the back leg. As you inhale, reach higher, maybe palms come together, maybe your thumbs cross, and then start to lean back a little bit if it feels okay. As you lean back, can you bend deeper into your front knee while lifting out of your pelvis? Good, release, open it up, warrior two. Reverse warrior regular. Side angle, either forearm to thigh or hand could slide down to your ankle. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, you're in your lunge. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Good, this time bring your hands together in front of your heart, interlace your fingers and extend your index finger. So different mudra. So index fingers are pointing up. Press your palms together. Tuck your back toes and we're gonna rise up into a high lunge. Keep a little bend in that back knee so you can neutralize your pelvis. Hug the outer hips in and try to reach those arms up as high as you can. Inhale here, exhale, prayer twist to the front leg. Keep the mudra position in your hands. That's it. And then hug those hips in, press the palms together, and lift and straighten that back leg as best you can. One more breath. From here, root into your front foot, into the heel, step forward, prayer twist. Inhale, rise up through center. Take the back bend at the top. And now just release, fold forward over your legs. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take the vinyasa if you would like. Oh, no, wait, okay, take the vinyasa. Go ahead. I forgot to do the warrior three part, so we're gonna come back to the front. After your vinyasa, step or jump top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, so other side. So now left palm out, right palm in, find your Ganesha mudra. We're gonna stand on the right leg, see if you can come onto the ball of the left foot, and then lift that left knee up. Aim the tailbone down, lift your chest. Try to make sure the back of the skull is lengthening, and we'll keep that as we shift into your warrior three. And keep pulling with your hands. That'll give you a little stability as you keep your chest from collapsing. Last breath, be steady, and then step it back. Warrior one, release your arms out and up. You can bring your palms together. Bend deeper into your front knee, maybe the thumbs cross. Lift out of your pelvis. You should feel stretch through your belly, and then back into a back bend. Hold it here, another breath. Good, and then open it up to your warrior two. Good. Hopefully we're on this other side. If you're not, I know in my class earlier this week, somehow we were getting our sides mixed up, and I think it was definitely me. So if you are on your wrong side, please adjust. Warrior, reverse warrior regular. And then side angle, either forearm to thigh or reach up and over your ear. Good, back to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, you're in your lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. And find your back bend, find your crescent shape. Drop your pelvis, lift your back rib cage, reach up and back with your arms. Really be aware of that back leg and the back rib cage. Can you create more space between them? Good, release back to center, bring your hands to your heart, find the other mudra Fingers are, index fingers extended, thumbs can cross, press your palms together. And then as you're ready, tuck your back toes, lift up, high lunge. Keep a little bend into that back knee. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, prayer twist towards your front leg. Really lift that back thigh now. Press the palms together, turn open, and really stand into your front foot. And as you root into that front foot, step it forward. Prayer twist. Inhale, rise all the way up, little back bend at the top. And then release, arms down at your side. Good. All right, just a little break. Take your feet a little wider. We're gonna come back to the vinyasa in a moment. Inhale, reach your arms up. Hold your right wrist. Make your crescent shape over towards your left. Just give a gentle traction into that right arm. Shift your weight to your left leg, root into your heel, and bring a little bend into that knee. And then see if you can balance here. Lift that other leg up. Good, hold here for another breath. Lift your thigh a little higher, and then release your arms out to the sides. Yeah. Good, release, back up to center, and arms down. Let's try that on the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hold the wrist, make sure feet are wide. Side bend. Little bend in that right knee, come onto the left toe. And then see if you can get that leg off the ground. Really lift that leg, use that outer hip, and then release, arms out wide. Good. And release it back to the start. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we're going to step back to dog and bring our knees down to the floor. And let's take a brief child's pose. We're going to put some things together. And we're going to add in half moon pose, which you may have guessed we are working toward. So we probably are going to want blocks at the top of your mat. So if you don't have those there, put them there. And then let's take about 3 more breaths in your child's pose. Breathe into your Ganesha belly. Okay, so after that third breath, take your time. We're going to meet in tabletop pose. Okay. So we're going to repeat that sequence from the beginning, and then we're going to put it together with some of the other stuff. So take your right leg straight back behind you. Swing your left shin out to the side. Peel up into the arm balance. So this is pretty much the same pose as half moon, except for we're more standing, but we're similar actions that we need to remember. So bottom arm, kind of open that shoulder, roll it back. Lift the top leg and engage it. Push out through your heel. So that's like a Ganesha energy to really push out. And then bend your knee and grab onto the big toe side of the foot. Open your chest, curl open. So a lot easier here than when we're actually standing on one leg because we have more stability, more Ganesha energy. Ganesha is the deity of the first chakra and represents stability because of his size. Elephants are very stable. Now, release those arms back up. Keep the leg up. Come back down to neutral. Spin the shin back in, and then push up, down dog split. Inhale here, exhale, step through, warrior one. Palms together, thumbs cross, reach up and back. Good, open it up, warrior two. Ganesha Mudra, right palm out, left palm in. To the front, reach, stay there. Good, and now widen the arms, keep reaching. Tip your pelvis toward the back foot. Good, rise back up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Reach forward and down. Top arm reaches up. Spiral that bottom arm open. We want to keep that collarbone wide. Root down and apart through your legs. Good. Now top hand onto your hip, preparing for half moon. So we're going to put your hand on your block and start to shift your block forward. Start to shift that back knee, back foot in. So I'm just going to adjust because I'm going to end up going out of the frame. When you're ready, start to float that back leg up. Pause here, just like we were on the ground. Bottom arm spirals open. Make the top leg strong, lift it high and firm your hips. Turn your chest open and maybe reach that top arm up. You can stay there or bend your knee, squeeze that heel in, and some of you might be able to grab the foot. Some of you might be able to open up more into the back bend. Spiral the bottom leg and the bottom arm open for stability. Good, release. Arm out, leg out, step back, warrior two. Ganesha Mudra, right palm forward, left palm in to the back and reach. Good, back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, you're in that lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Steeple Mudra, extend the index fingers, tuck the back toes, lift up tall, inhale. Exhale, prayer twist. Hug that the outer hips in and step forward, prayer twist. Inhale, rise up, little back bend. Exhale, release, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back, downward facing dog. Knees down to the floor, setting up for the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to take that left leg back and spin the right shin out and open up into your arm balance. Again, make sure you're doing your opposite side. All right, lift that top leg nice and high. Push out through your heel. And then when you're ready, bend that knee, catch the foot. Roll your chest open, spiral that bottom arm open. And remember this feeling as we do this pose standing on one leg. Good, slowly release, stretch the arm and leg out. Bring your hand down and then push up, down dog split. Good, step it forward, warrior one. Reach the arms up. Take a little back bend. Good, open it up, warrior two. Ganesha Mudra, left palm forward, right palm in, lean to the front. Tip your pelvis toward the back foot, root into that heel, and then reach through your arms. You're on an angle, you're using those side waist muscles, and then open up through your arms. That's it. Back up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg and come into Trikonasana. Pelvis is tipping toward the back foot, bottom arm spirals open, top arm reaches up. Really feel the stability by rooting down into your heels. Top hand onto your hip. Preparing for half moon, find your block. And then start to move the block forward, start to move your back leg in. And as you're ready, coming up into your half moon. So get steady first before you try any back bend. Spiral the bottom arm and bottom leg open as you lift the top leg nice and high. Push out through the heel of that lifted leg. Maybe the arm reaches up for a moment. And keep spiraling, bottom arm, bottom leg. You'll feel a little more stable when you do that. And then if you like, bend that knee, and you might just bend it, or you might catch the big toe side of your foot. And then we're opening up, if you feel steady enough, really root into the ground, find that Ganesha energy. Good, as you're ready, release the arm and leg, step it back, warrior two. Hard work's almost done. All right, Ganesha Mudra, left palm forward to the back this time. Good, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down. We're almost done with the vinyasa. Take your lunge, inhale, reach up. Good, hands together, find your steeple mudra. Tuck the back toes, rise up, high lunge. Inhale, stretch up tall. Exhale, prayer twist. Press the palms together, lift your back thigh, and when you're ready, step forward. Prayer twist in chair, and then inhale, rise all the way up, little back bend at the top. And exhale, release. Arms down at your side. Nice work, everybody. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, step back to dog. If you want a vinyasa, take one. We're gonna meet in a child's pose for a few breaths. We're gonna transition to working on the floor. So let's take about 3-4 breaths in child's pose. Start to bring the energy down a bit. Still have a little work to do. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna come up on our knees for a round of camel pose. Toes can be flat or tucked, depending on how easy it is for you to reach for your heels. Let's just neutralize the pelvis first. Lift the belly, lengthen the tail. And then arms at your side, roll your palms open to get those shoulders back. Kind of remembering how it feels in Ganesha Mudra when our chest is open, our back is open. And then we're going to bring hands to the lower back like we did earlier and pull the lower back down. Lift the chest and try not to lean back. Keep your hips right over your knees. And then we come into the back bend. Back of the neck long. Staying there or starting to slide your hands down, find your heels. And then spiral the arms open the collarbones. Get that pelvis over the knees, open through the front of the body. Back of the neck long, last breath. Release. And we're gonna sit on our heels. Sitting on your heels is challenging. Grab a block to sit on. Take a couple of breaths there. All right, we're gonna grab our 2 blocks and keep them in front of us for a little bit of balance. We're gonna step the right foot forward and sit on the left heel. And you might wanna have those blocks there to balance. If you don't need them, you can just also hug your shin and sit up tall. Hold there for another breath. Okay, we're gonna try a twist from here. So I'm gonna grab a pillow. You can also use a blanket, and you're gonna slide it between your thigh and your heel, and you're gonna keep sitting on that heel. So same position, but you're giving yourself a little cushion to sit on. Try to be as tall as you can. Ganesha Mudra, left palm out, right palm in. Pull and open the chest. Good. Release your hands down to your blocks and take your right foot, cross it over. So it's like Ardha Matsyendrasana pose, but we're doing it a little differently, a little more advanced, sitting on that heel. Now, if anyone has pain in that bottom knee, you can do this as a regular twist without sitting on your heel. Okay, try to hug into the center, squeeze your legs, and maybe you could find your Ganesha Mudra again. If you're not balanced, keep your hands on your blocks. Hold here, another breath. Take an inhale, squeeze the legs. Exhale, start to turn towards your right. Good, now from here, release left hand to right knee and bring the block around back behind you. If you can reach the floor, you don't need it. And then turn over to your right. Press your right leg and left hand into each other and start to keep turning chest, rib cage, lift the crown of the head upward. Now bring awareness to your right collarbone and your right shoulder blade and pull them toward the back wall as you let your left rib cage rotate forward. Look over your back shoulder for a moment. Keep everything turning toward the back and to the right, but look forward with your gaze. So head is forward, and then lift the crown of the head, squeeze the legs, and then slowly unwind it back to the start. And release, stretch those legs out for a moment, give them a little wiggle. And then we're gonna try that on the other side. So when you're ready, just starting sitting on your heels. So we'll just start in kind of a more neutral position. Chest lifted. So all these things like back bends, twists, they open up this area of the body where we hold all of our fear and also can help release stagnant, stuck energy in this area of the body. For example, if we're having digestive problems, that can get really bound up when we're feeling fearful. Hands to the blocks. Step your left foot forward and just pause there for a moment, lifting your chest. See if you can balance on your heel. And then right palm out, left palm in, pull, lift your chest. Good, hands back to the blocks, grab your cushion. You can use a blanket, you can use a pillow, and you're gonna slide that in between. And it gives a little cushion, but for me, it also helps me stabilize. Okay, you're rooting into that left leg, lifting up tall. Find that Ganesha Mudra again. So right palm out, pull, inhale, exhale, twist. Hold for a moment with the mudra. And then we're going to release, right hand to left knee. Left hand finds the block, move the block around to the side or to the back. Inhale, lift up tall, push into the foot, and then turn. Press the leg and arm into each other. Right, and then awareness to left shoulder blade, left collarbone. Draw them back as the left rib cage wraps around. Maybe that left shoulder blade kind of pulls into the spine. Inhale, keep turning to the left and back, and then gaze can look forward. Good. Lengthen up through the back of your skull, root into your legs. Hold it here. Another breath. Good. Next inhale, unwind it back to the center. And then you can come off of your support and just sit on that support. Legs out in front of you. Maybe the knees need a little rub down after that. And then let's take a forward fold of your choosing. If you want to do Paschimottanasana, legs straight, you could also do a bound angle, any other position you like. I think I'm going to do bound angle. That might feel good after all the balancing work on our hips. That might be nice. Okay, so inhale, lengthen up tall. See if we can keep the chest and the back open like in our Ganesha Mudra. And then as you exhale, we're going to come forward and try not to let those shoulders come forward right away. So pause when you get to your first kind of stopping point. Open collarbones, open upper back. Tuck your chin and lengthen through the crown of your head. And then you might be able to come a little more forward as you exhale. Eventually, if it would feel good, you could let your spine round, let your head go. So that's a little more nervous system nourishing to go round, to go soft. Take a couple more breath cycles here. One more. And on your next inhalation, slowly starting to come up. And then use your hands and draw your knees up. Okay, we're going to come onto our back and we're going to finish up with a kind of a deep spinal twist. I'm going to say you might want a pillow under your head and keep a strap nearby. Some of you might want it, some of you might not need it. We're going to do the one called the cat pulling its tail, one of my favorites. We're going to do it in stages so that you can make it work for you. I don't know, you guys might, if you've not done this one before, I think most of you have, but if you haven't, you might want to just watch for a moment. You think you're okay? Okay, Chris is going to watch. So let me just show it. I'm going to cross right leg over left, like eagle pose, and then move my hips to the right, come into a twist. And that's stage one. Stage two, we're going to extend this top leg and see if we can catch it. And then this hip is going to roll forward. Stage three, I'm going to see if I can move the back thigh back and catch that foot. I might need to back out of it a little bit. I might need a strap. And then I roll my chest over to the right, press down into my arms, and try to arch the back away from the ground a bit. And that's the pose. All right, so I'll talk you guys through it. On your back with head support, I think would probably be nice. And then cross right leg over left leg. That's it. At your inner thigh, so all the way across. No space between your legs. Then, good. Now shift your hips over to the right and twist over to the left. Arms out to a T. That's it. So just settle there for a few breaths. If it's comfortable, look over your right shoulder. And let the back ribs drop into the ground for now. Okay, when you're ready, next stage, straighten that top leg. And see if you could catch your foot. And if you can't, you could use a strap. Now, we're not going to use 2 straps, so you could pick and choose if you can't quite catch that foot. Maybe you'll use the strap on the front leg, maybe you'll use it on the back leg. So that's stage 2. We might just stay there, letting the top hip roll away toward the bottom of your mat to lengthen. Those of you who want stage 3, start to walk your bottom thigh back and see if you can catch your foot. So I need to always kind of lift up a little bit to catch my foot. You could use your strap as well around the bottom foot if you choose. Once you've got it, try to pull the shoulder heads down, open your chest, maybe pull the left shoulder blade a little left. Try to have that feeling of Ganesha Mudra in your chest. Draw the arms down. Roll the top hip forward and find a little back bend as you look over your right shoulder. And then breathe into any areas of restriction. If you've just got the one leg, you can just work on the same actions. And then slowly release. We're going to roll onto our back. Take your time. That was a deep pose. And just settle before we come on to the other side. Let your spine neutralize for a moment. Breathe into your belly. Let's try the other side. Left leg crosses over like eagle, no space. Hip shift over to the left. Legs drop over to the right. And then pause in the twist for a few breaths. Maybe look over your left shoulder, even your shoulder blades out. And for now, just allowing everything to drop into the ground. Also a nice outer hip stretch after all that standing balance work. One more belly breath. And when you're ready, stage 2, extend your top leg. Try to catch the foot or use a strap if you need to. And you can stay with that. You don't have to do next stage. Roll the top hip away. And then if you like, stage 3, walk your thigh back. See if you can catch that foot. And then we have a double bind. Use a strap if you like. We're going to root down into the ground, shoulders down, arms down. Maybe look over the left shoulder and find a little back bend. Keep rooting down into the legs, the arms. Last breath. When you're ready, very slowly let go of your legs and come back to center. Even yourself out. And for a moment before we do anything else, don't hug your knees in yet. Just let your spine be neutral. Because my spine really loves that pose, but it also loves like just kind of neutralizing before I do anything else. Sometimes when I'm in that cat pulling the tail, I just kind of hear my spine just opening up. It's really cool. Let's take 2 more breaths into the belly. Let your back drop, back ribs, back of the sacrum, back of the shoulder blades. And now go ahead and pull those knees into the chest. Just give them a good squeeze for a moment and continue to let your spine be neutral. This posture helps just lengthen the lower back. So keep your tailbone lengthening. Every time you exhale, those knees might come in a little closer. And then bring your hands to your kneecaps, drop the knees apart like bound angle. The toes face each other, but don't have to touch. Just stretch those inner thighs. And then take that into a happy baby if you like. And also just stay with a knee hug or the knees wide. Can you breathe into your belly in this position? And then we'll hug those knees into the chest one more time. Finding your Shavasana as you are ready. So whatever you might need to be comfortable. So maybe support for the head, for the lower back. I'll give you a few more moments to really settle. And once you arrive in Shavasana, really having a sense of that heaviness, that Ganesha quality, the earth element. Feel the imprint of your body on the ground. For the first few moments of Shavasana, conscious breath into the belly. And let's put the hands on the belly, kind of around solar plexus, navel center height. And use a little resistance here under your hands so that when you breathe into your belly, you're taking it as low as you can, below your navel. So the hands are a reminder to get that breath lower. And then exhale it out very softly, slowly. Belly softens. Try that a few rounds, breathing into the lowest part of your belly that you can find. And then a soft, slow exhalation. 2 more cycles. After that second cycle, go ahead and just let it all go into your Shavasana. Imagine that all the work you just did, those twists and back bends, releasing any stagnant energy in the area of your torso, the digestive organs, the stomach, the liver, the gut. This whole area can get really contracted with fear. And we start to find ourselves feeling stuck and immobile. But our practice reminds us that we can always find mobility again. All of that stimulation to the area increases the motility of our organs, increases the pulsation in our organs, so they're healthier, more vital. So imagine all of that work creating a free flow of energy through your body. increased circulation, increased respiration. The more you relax, the more that process becomes more efficient at keeping us healthy, keeping us vibrant, and allowing us to step into our wisdom. So the energy of Ganesha is about grounded wisdom. Sometimes we have so much information floating around in our heads, but it's not really wisdom. Information is information. And sometimes it can create more fear in our minds. But grounded wisdom helps us discern whether that fear that's coming up rather is kind of holding us back, not allowing us to live our fullest, or if that fear is helping to protect us. Our body intuition, our grounded wisdom helps us to know the difference. All right, so taking your time now, allow some deeper breathing, smaller movements, noticing the effect of your practice. And take all the time you need to wake up, make some bigger movements before coming over onto your side. Have a few breaths on your side, so try not to rush. Coming up to a seated position when you are ready, perhaps with a cushion. We're going to sit for a moment. So as you're ready, just find a nice tall spine, but soft belly. Keep that Ganesha belly. Hands are going to face down for grounded energy. And then put thumb and index finger together. Lift the back of the skull. And then either with eyes closed or gently focused. Follow the breath low into your belly. You can stay with that. I'm going to share a final reading before we close. This is called There is a Mountain You Have to Climb. There is a mountain you have to climb. How it got in your backyard is impossible to tell, but there it is, throwing blankets of shadows over your suns, throwing slabs of darkness over your days. You try to ignore it, though it calls to the pit of your being. You can try to ignore it for years, but it's always there, waiting for the day when you finally muster the courage to make an attempt. You can go around the world trying to avoid it, but as the taxi pulls away from the curb to take you to the airport, you see it trailing behind you. It will camp out in the backyard of your most exotic port of call, will follow you through lifetimes, if need be, to begin the climb you put off for years until it seems the attempt itself is the very thing that will destroy you. So finally shake off the self-doubt, put on your climbing boots and start to climb. Sometimes you cannot see a place to put your foot next, but impossibly the never dreamed of happens. You climb the mountain you have to climb, and at that dizzying height, you breathe relief as deeply as you have ever breathed in your life. You look out at all the life below and see the paths you have followed and feel spirit put its arm around your shoulder. And it says, now that wasn't so bad, was it? And you have to admit the anxiety and the dread were harder than the climb itself. And spirit says, good, rest here for a few minutes. Give yourself a pat on the back and rest, because I have a few more mountains to climb. So we're gonna let one hand stay down where it is and put the other hand into no fear. So palm facing outward. And take a few breaths. And if you can, that hand that's on your knee, touch the ground. And if you can't touch the ground, put your hand on a block so that you feel that earth energy beneath your hand, standing for grounded wisdom and no fear. And then we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart space. Have a nice inhalation. Exhale, bow your head to your heart. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. All right, thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, Dee. You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Next week's going to be a very calming practice. We're going to work on the fight-flight response and just kind of calming all that in the body. So we're just kind of staying along these same lines. Just kind of things are similar, but just be a more relaxing practice next week. So I'll see you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yay, I'm glad you liked it. Thanks for coming.
It was great. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.